This is Civitas. Where will you be for the revolution? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Civitas FC podcast. For those of you who don't know, we are the first DAO looking to purchase a football team. And, this is uncharted territory for a lot of people, but in years to come, it will not be. And I want everybody to bookmark this episode. We are going to be the first ones to get it done. We will purchase a football team with the power of the community, the power of the fans. And, we're all really excited to be here. So I want to get into it. Let's get it started with the cast. Main man, Ben, what's going on? Talk to the people, bro.
What's up, everybody? Benya here. Big Arsenal fan, just looking to change the world and bring ownership back to the fans.
My boy Joel, what you gonna say to the people, bro?
What's up, everybody? Excited to be a part of this journey. Looking forward to seeing where it comes. A little happier these days than Benya down there, a massive Manchester City fan. And looking forward to getting into all this with you guys.
Faraz, talk to the people, my guy. Talk to the people.
Hello. Happier than Joel after beating him last year, but I have two loves, Chelsea and Inter. Sorry, Mom. Hopefully we're going to spread our word, show our biases and our love, and achieve our goals together.
And this is Rocky Bobby speaking at Not Champagne Poppy on Twitter. I'm happy to be here on this journey, baby. The Nerazzurri's biggest fan since I was a child on the streets of Albania, and we are ready to get this popping. All right, then, bro, let's talk about Civitas. Let's let people know what we're all about, what's going on, more words on the movement.
Absolutely. So to put it in simplest terms, what we're trying to do with Civitas FC is bring ownership back to the fans through the formation of a DAO, a Decentralized Autonomous Organization. And so the way we're trying to do this is build a community of football lovers all coming together to accomplish this mission that may sound crazy, but in reality, extremely possible. And I'm fully confident that we can really get this done.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, it might sound crazy right now, but if you read a bit about Web3, if you read a bit about crypto, and if you listen to this podcast, because one of the main things that we're going to be doing is having guests on from these spaces to try and educate everybody so we're all growing and learning at the same time. Once you kind of have that idea of where the web is going with Web3, you'll really understand that this isn't crazy at all. Like, this is the future of business. So many organizations are going to be run this way, so many teams. It's really a beautiful thing.
Absolutely. And, to explain further what exactly we're trying to do and how we're trying to bring power to the fans is we want to create two most important things in ownership. One, we want to give equity to the people that actually build up the community. So the people that are actually going to be building out this movement with us under Civitas FC are actually going to be equity shareholders of the team that we're looking to actually buy. Two is decision-making power. Right now, you see all these different projects. You see all these different ways current teams are trying to engage fans, even with fan tokens. But the difference between what we're doing and what's happening now is we're actually bringing back the decision-making power to the people that are building the community.
And that's really the big difference. The game really changed with Socios and their fan tokens. But what we're trying to do isn't just, pick the color of the bus or pick what song's going to play before the game. We're looking to give the fans real power, real equity in the team. And a huge way that that's going to happen is through these tokens. And Ben, if you want to speak a bit about how people can gain tokens, especially on these early stages, working with the community.
Yeah, absolutely. So again, we are in the very early stages, doing this podcast. We are laying out the mission. We are building it publicly. We are doing this extremely raw, building out the foundation. A lot of these projects that end up succeeding are the ones that focus on community. And what DAOs allow is to get this community and structure it in a way that everybody has a say, everybody has a voice, and that's what we're all about. And so the way people can get tokens or can get a bigger say in what we're building is by contributing in any way they can, right? So doing this podcast, what we're doing here is trying to spread the message of what we're doing. We're creating essentially a media powerhouse where everybody can see exactly what we're trying to do. We're trying to control, again, football media, just our love for the game, and share everything that's going on. So RB, you can talk about more about, how we're looking to structure this podcast and the message we're trying to get across. But for those people that are listening to this right now and, align with the mission and want to do something, there are plenty of ways on our Discord that people can contribute and earn future tokens once we actually launch the token. But for now, the way it works is everybody gets to contribute in any way they can, and those contributions are going to be associated with future tokens that are going to be stored on a public ledger. So everybody is always aware about the value that they're bringing and what that actually will convert when we do launch the token.
And that's really the big thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's all about your value as a person at this stage. We're just looking to build a strong community here. We're not really interested in the financial aspects of things yet. We're not looking to, increase funding at the moment at all. We're actually looking to pay you folks in tokens to show you the value that you have and to really reward. And that's the big difference between, current corporations, the way things work versus what Web3 is trying to accomplish, where it's more about people's worth and what they bring into the community. And that's really the main thing right now. So when we say, your contributions, by no means is it a financial contribution. It's all about you and how you're working and how you're helping, get the message out there that Civitas is here. And we're looking to change the way the footballing world works. We're looking to spread the message and give the power to the fans.
If I may touch, on what you guys are saying, because, me, when I first started out, when I've known Ben a long time, and he kind of came up to me with this idea. And at first I was kind of like, is this even possible? Like, what is this? And I know very little in the space, but what you can do is just learn more and more every day. And so from reading and from talking to these guys, I've learned that this is really, really possible. And it's really exciting to be on the forefront of it. And literally the only thing that's connecting us, we all know each other through each other, but the only thing that's really connecting us in relation to this project is our love for the game. It's not anything else. And so I implore everybody else, who has as much passion, and there's millions and millions of people who do as much as us, to really get involved, because one day you're going to regret it if you don't. So
like Joel said, a month ago, I didn't even know who my guy Rocky was, but our love of the game and our association as a community of football fans coming together under this DAO, under this project, led us to be together and, unite under one goal, which is ultimately to own a soccer club and have decisions made with everybody, not just a single entity.
And that's really the big thing, ladies and gentlemen. For a lot of people, this might even be their entrance into crypto and the Web3 space in general. This might be their first, time, the first foray into it. And with what the future holds, it's super important that we educate everybody and we're all on the same page always. So that's one of the main goals of this podcast, is to keep you guys up to date and ready. So don't be worried at all if you don't know too much right now. This is an educational experience, and it's going to be a journey for you.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically what RB mentioned there is everybody that's coming in, we are simply a community of football lovers. We are fans of the game who think that we have the power to own a team. We are here to learn together, to understand how this can be done. And that's what this is all about.
And that's the beautiful thing, baby. That's the beautiful thing. Any last words on the movement? Anything people should know right now? Anything to look forward to?
Yeah, just stay updated for more to come. If you're interested, again, join our Discord, see how you can contribute. We take any contribution. So if you have an idea that's not there, feel free to bring it up. We'll reward you based on what we think the value of that specific contribution is. And again, if you align with our mission, come join us.
Get the word out there, baby. All right. Now, let's chat some crypto. That's why we're here. We're here to learn a bit. And it's really beautiful to see the way that the footballing world is already starting to interact with Web3 and crypto in general. And I believe my man Faraz here has a beautiful story to tell us about that.
Yeah, like you guys mentioned, the growth in business is with crypto. And one of the main stories that epitomizes that transition or that influential role of crypto within sport, particularly, is a story from a small South Midlands city of Bedford in England and a local entrepreneur called Peter McCormack. Peter McCormack was a regular local guy who started out in advertising initially, but then grew to study about Bitcoin and love Bitcoin and became an investor and an advocate for Bitcoin. He popularized himself with a podcast called What Bitcoin Did or What Crypto Did, and through that he gained a huge following, a large enough following and a large enough investment strategy where he was able to take over and purchase his local team, Bedford FC, from the previous chairman, Louis Lamoura. Now, there was no official record of how much he purchased his club for, or in what he used to purchase it, whether that's Bitcoin, pound, or any other financial transaction. But what his main goal is to use Bitcoin as a spearhead for commercial, communal, and financial growth. He's going to use Bitcoin to change merchandising sales. He's going to use Bitcoin as a form to gain extra sponsorship revenue by having different sponsorship deals with different companies. He's going to use his consortium of 150 million Bitcoin investors around the world to gain traction within this club and ultimately invest. Now, what's going to happen is Bitcoin, you don't need Bitcoin to be a official donator or involved with Bedford FC, but rather Bitcoin is going to be a means of finances for this club. And what's going to happen is all form of profit or investment is going to be dropped into a Bitcoin treasury where 10, 15, 20 years down the line, when the team organically grows and moves up the divisions, because right now they're only in the 10th division of English football, not even an official league.
Mm-hmm.
That value of Bitcoin, hopefully as it grows, is going to be a financial stock pot for them to make decisions.
And Faraz, let me just jump in here real quick. So a question that kind of popped in my mind from just that story in general, Bitcoin's going to be so huge and crypto's going to be so huge in the future. Do you guys have any opinions on owners looking to pay their players in Bitcoin or, or their crew, like the coaches, managers? Any thoughts on that?
I think, if I can speak on it, I don't know. This guy is obviously really bullish on that, as I'm sure we all are, because we kind of see where it's going. But I think it's unfair to kind of make or force, anybody a part of that club financially to receive payments in that. You know what I mean? Let's say you just don't believe in it, you just don't understand it. I don't think it would be necessarily fair. Although, if I was personally playing, I'd be like, yeah, hell yeah, pay me that Bitcoin. That's just gonna appreciate. We can blur that out later. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. That's my thoughts on it originally. It's a really cool story, and like I said, it just kind of bridges what we're trying to do in the football world and kind of what is possible. It kind of shows that, and so I don't know. It's a really cool story in my opinion.
I think just the fact that it's in the conversation that he even would suggest to do that and pay his players that way, I think it really shows, where we're heading in the future. It's like, forget that regular paper currency you're getting. This is the future. It's very real and it's right at our door. It's not some sort of distant future 10 years from now, 20 years from now. No, it's right around the corner. And it's either like, get with the times or get out of the game, baby. I don't know what to tell people. It's time to evolve. It's time to move forward.
I think part of the question, or part of the answer to the question you're asking, is the implementation of educational programs within the community of soccer fans and a community at large. Once investment within the crypto space, in this case Bitcoin, grows and people are more engaged towards it and have more knowledge about how it works and how they can deal with it, and even crypto's growth generally within society, I think that's the moment when Bitcoin can be used as a form of financial payment to individuals, whether it's players or just regular workers.
I feel like it's interesting from a business standpoint almost, though, because now not only are you exposing yourself to just the risks of operating a business, every other business operating with cash, especially like a football club, their success is based on their success on the pitch, how well they're doing financially, marketing and stuff. But like, if you're putting all those funds and all that profit and all that revenue into Bitcoin now, not only do you have to do well, successfully on the pitch and through all those other mediums, you have to make sure that price goes up. So it is a risky strategy, but obviously this guy, through his podcast and everything, this entrepreneur is really bullish on that. And so it's just like kind of believing in the idea and the mission. And And so I wish them the best, and I hope to see Bedford in the Premier League eventually. I was going to ask you guys though, you think this is really going to propel the club all the way to the Premier League? Because that's Sky McCormack's goal, right? Like,
Yeah, I think it's very possible. I mean, not in terms of just financially and the appreciation of Bitcoin, but for a local club like Bedford to now activate a whole fan base around the world, I think that's a huge plus side in terms of not only for Bedford in this specific situation, but for what any team can do by activating certain things. And that's exactly what we're trying to do, right? We're fans from around the world that simply love the game. And now we have the tools to come together and, purchase a team wherever that may be to not only, get the local fan base, but now fans from all around the world. And I think that's the biggest thing with this.
I think just to echo Ben's sentiments, he's not, with this investment and with this strategy, he's going to be attracting people who probably never had any sort of affiliation or attraction to soccer. Just their pure attraction and use of Bitcoin can lead them down to Bedford FC as an investment strategy. But the difference I want to draw between this strategy Peter McCormack's implementing and anything that we talk about as far as our own affiliation and our DAO is the single entity model versus a communal model where all individuals within the organization of the DAO will be able to make decisions on football and financial decisions, not just a single guy and the person he hires as the general manager or head of sport.
Yeah, absolutely. And to note on that, again, the two most important things that we're really trying to do is give the fans that equity stake in what we're building, but also the decision-making power. And we've seen, so many different organizations, again, with the Bedford City example, with all these other teams implementing different strategies, but they're not giving the fans, the people that build the community up, both those things that really make for true ownership.
Faraz, aren't they changing the name of the club to like Real Bedford or something like that?
Yeah, it's Real Bedford FC, and the B is now the sign of Bitcoin.
Wow!
Oh
my God, they had fun playing with that logo.
That's wild. That's literally wild. That's
I
so.
was gonna say, I don't know how many people in Bedford can even pronounce Real properly, but
Real Bedford.
Real Bedford.
Hey. What do you guys think about? Oh, wait, sorry. What were you saying, Faraz?
I'm saying one other thing about Bitcoin, and Joel was bringing up that how Peter McCormack's super bullish on it and the use of crypto in general. The good thing about Bitcoin, though, I mean, you guys can follow this yourself, but Bitcoin has a limited supply, and because it's decentralized, no government entity can churn out and just cycle this money. So its value will be ultimately fixed to a certain position, and it can be hedged against inflation within general society because of its limited supply. And that's a benefit of crypto and having decentralized, monetary assets.
That's literally huge. And probably that might be the biggest pro in general to moving towards this. Even when you're paying your players, it's less power from the government, from these corporate entities, and more power to the people. And that's really what this is all about. What do you guys think in general, though, about a new owner coming in and just changing the identity of a local club? A lot of fans might have a couple words about that, especially when it's something like the Bitcoin logo and something not really representative of the community there, or like the people's culture there.
I know we touched on, how great it is that they're really exploring, different audience groups. And like Faraz had touched on, like there's going to be people that, maybe not interested in football that are, finally paying attention to this. And that's good in one way because you're getting more reach and you're getting more, investments in that way. But then I think, I don't necessarily think this, but I can see how, experts in the space, people in the space can kind of see that, this influence of non-footballing fans or factors is not necessarily good for the development of the club and, the community. Which is why I kind of want to draw that parallel with us. I feel like if you're involved in what we're trying to do, your first and foremost thought is that you're just a lover of the game. Everything else, your knowledge about crypto, you're wanting to even invest and make money. I feel like that's almost a secondary nature. And so basically, if you want to be doing this because you are a huge fan and everyone's had this dream, all of us included, of having some stake in an actual decisions of an actual club, and then I'll support that club till I die. Like right now I'm a City fan, but who knows, like, I'm still gonna be a City fan for life, but I'm gonna be a whatever fan of whatever club we purchase eventually in the future, and so that's really exciting.
That's a beautiful thing, man. It's like I was a kid playing FIFA 07. Back then, you know, they had more modes in FIFA because now they're taking a mode away every freaking year. It's insane. But, you know, it was the ownership mode, and I was like signing water bottle deals, just living the life, bro. I was literally a child just enjoying it. And, you know, I want to be able to go back to myself at that age and just be like, listen, this isn't just a game. Like, this is the future, and you could be actually owning a club and making these decisions. And you know, that's where the world's going now. Faraz, any more words on this, bro, on this amazing story about crypto in the football world?
Yeah, just crypto is a means of spearheading these different projects.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to be the be all and end all of it. That's the main thing.
100%. All right. Well, the show is in segments, baby. So now it's one of the crowd favorites. We'll talk some more footy now. Transfer talk. Let's do some quick hits. What's going on around the leagues? My boy Joel, let us know.
Fan favorite segment of the very first podcast that we're ever releasing. But you know, track this message back to, you know, when we have 50 out. But yeah, you know, like I said, we're first and foremost lovers of the game, so I think it would do us justice to kind of talk about what's going on in the world right now. And you know, January is a sparking transfers. Before transfers, I just wanted to talk about, get your guys' opinions. I know we all watched the games this past week. There were a chock full of them. So what do you guys think of the you know, the Supercopa games, the Clásico? Yesterday, I watched that in like a bar with a bunch of people, a bunch of Real Madrid fans and Barcelona fans. I'm here in Miami. I know the Clásico is really, you know, dumbed down in terms of intensity, you know, when Messi and Ronaldo no longer there. But I don't know. I thought it was a really good game. What do you guys think of the game?
Definitely more competitive than I thought. I'm interested to see what Barca can do these days, man. It's like every single time they look like they're just grasping for something. They're just reaching to go back to those glory days, and they're spending money, but it doesn't seem to be on the right guys ever. They're just missing something very special. And it's not even just like they're missing Messi, but there's something in their identity that they're just not there. And they have Xavi as the manager, and they're still just not rekindling that fire.
I think, you know, I'm a Barcelona fan in my heart as well, you know, just a huge Messi supporter. I think you kind of got to give this guy some time. You know, I think more than Koeman and, you know, the managers before him, I think they're definitely getting that, you know, resemblance of the Blaugrana, of the tiki-taka, of kind of their identity with all these young players also. And I kind of thought that, you know, it's a Supercopa. It might be Barca's best chance of winning a trophy this season, but I don't think it was really detrimental to, you know, their success. So I think they kind of had the ability to kind of show themselves and play all these youngsters and play the way they play. And then, like, if they were expected to lose that game, you know, 9 times out of 10 against this informed Real Madrid team. Yeah, but what do you guys think, Faraz and Ben?
Listen, the fact that Barcelona competed and still lost, and yet we're making a positive story out of it, I think is representative of how far they've fallen off. Yeah. However, I do agree with you that Xavi needs time and can do some things with all these young players. My only contention with this whole Super Cup is the fact that it's in Riyadh for financial reasons, clearly. And Raul Garcia, the Athletic Club player, right before their semifinal against Atletico Madrid, mentioned that. So, I mean, football is for the fans, and it needs to be. I mean, I'm not saying it needs to be particularly in this country that is representative of the tournament, but having local fans at these games of these supporters, I think, is very important. And the fact that a lot of people during COVID times can't travel to Riyadh to watch these two teams play is a big thing for me.
Yeah. Go ahead, Ben.
Yeah. No, I mean, it as a Barcelona fan, just like Joel, growing up watching Tiki Taka, watching Xavi, you know, first of all, I agree with you guys. You got to give him time, but it's just sad to see so many financial mistakes that this club has made. And now we're at this point where, again, we're talking about this team that we're so used to winning so many trophies, now competing for something that for the Super Cup that, you know, we expected more from. So, you know, again, it's a tough situation. We got to give Xavi time, and, you know, hopefully this club can rebuild, but we're definitely at a very, very low point.
We've talked about Barcelona here. I just want to give a little quick word on Madrid. Guys, I don't like that they're looking so good. I mean, that's me personally. There's going to be a bunch of Real Madrid fans, I'm sure, joining our ranks soon. But, you know, Big Ben's on fire again. Vinicius just keeps doing what he's doing. Although I thought Ansu Fati's goal was quite nice when it came in. But enough about Barca there. What do you guys think about Real Madrid? Do you think they're going to go all the way this season in the league and then also Champions League? What are your thoughts?
Listen, I had to experience Real Madrid over 2 matches in the Champions League group stages as an Inter fan, all right? I thought that we had our moments where we pinned them back, where we played better. But at the same time, Ancelotti did 2 things. One, he showed he's not finished. He had some pretty bad stints at Napoli and Everton, in my opinion. But now he's back to, a top team, and he's really showing his stuff again. He's showing that experience as a manager, and they can keep Real Madrid at that top level. But whether they're going to go all the way in the Champions League, I don't know. I know they're definitely going to compete because I know Inzaghi's Inter is no joke, and they won both games against us, and it was fair play. So I think they're definitely going to cause a lot of havoc in the Champions League. I don't think they're going out home anytime soon.
They're a really experienced team, and they use that experience to take advantage of key moments in the game. However, like Rocky said, especially the first game against Inter in Milan, they were super vulnerable. We controlled the game. We penetrated them, and Real Madrid give up opportunities. Hence why I think actually PSG, first leg at home, they're going to have a big win and destroy Real Madrid.
Really? Interesting.
Anyway, interesting predictions here. I'm sure we'll go cover a lot of Champions League drama that's to come in February. I'm really excited for that stuff, man. To touch back on that, Atletico Bilbao won their leg against Atletico Madrid in the other Supercopa game. We don't have time to get into that, but looking forward to another good final between those 2 teams in Riyadh. Like we said, a little controversial, but that's topic for another time as well. Moving on to other games that we saw, we had some League Cup action. Arsenal finally playing their game against Liverpool after all these COVID, conundrums and nonsense that Klopp keeps talking about. Ben, I want to talk about that Xhaka red card, which is, he's been a comedic source for me for years at this point.
Hey.
But, they held their own, to be honest.
I mean, this player, Rocky and I had constant debates about this guy, and I'm sorry for the last few years that I've seen him play for my team. He's just done absolutely nothing, in my opinion.
That's so wrong, bro.
He's quote unquote a leader. He gets red cards in important games. Like, I don't know. I think his decision making is atrocious, and I honestly think we need a better midfielder in there. And unfortunately, Partey and other people couldn't be there today. But yeah, it's very, very annoying to see this guy continue to be put in a position where he leads the team. I really don't understand it.
He's warming up,
bro.
I
want to smack this guy. If this guy wasn't in Prague right now, I'd smack this guy across the screen, bro. I'm going to take the next flight out to Prague and just beat this guy's ass. This is crazy talk right here, all right? Let's talk about Xhaka. Listen, I need to talk to you Arsenal fans. If there's any Arsenal fans watching out here, your club has done nothing over the past years. It's not Xhaka's fault that you guys have done nothing. The club is in shambles all over the place from your manager, and the fish rots from the head down, all right, folks? You guys want to talk about Partey? Partey's nice on paper. He's done absolutely less of anything than Xhaka has done for this club. Xhaka is a leader. Listen, he's Albanian, all right? He's my dog, so yeah, he's got a little bit of a temper issue. He gets a little hot on the field. He'll get that red card. But listen, he is a composed leader for Switzerland, and we've seen that every single time. So that tells me if this guy is so composed and he's putting to work on Pogba against France for Switzerland in the Euros, he's doing all this, then why isn't it translating over to Arsenal, right? Because Arsenal fans seem to have a discrepancy. I'll tell you two things. I'll tell you 2 things. Ready? Is the players he has around him. He has a bunch of crap players around him, young kids that don't know what's going on. 1. 2, the pace of the Premier League doesn't suit him as well. If he came to Serie A, he's a different type of baller. But, the Prem doesn't really appreciate their agistas, these beautiful technical passers, and that's what Xhaka is, and he can't really...
Take him to Inter. Take him away from us.
I'd love
you guys can have him.
I'd love to. I would take him
liability. I don't want him at my club.
Hey.
This is the first positive note I think I've ever heard from Xhaka, apart from that one game against France in the Euros. But anyway, that game ended 0-0. There's a second leg to be played. We'll see who prevails. It's going to be at the Emirates there. I thought Liverpool was quite disappointing, especially playing 60 minutes with against 10 men. This is a Liverpool side that's supposed to be challenging for the title and everything. But as a City fan, that was oh my god, he's in a bust out Xhaka jersey.
That's the GOAT.
Arsenal honestly been impressing me lately, but the only good thing they're doing is their kits. Their kits are pretty fire. I can't lie about that. Moving on, the other semifinal in the League Cup saw Spurs go crashing out against Tuchel's Chelsea.
Best team in England.
Has a lot to say about that, but quick tidbits about your ideas and thoughts over those 2 legs. I thought the goals that Spurs conceded were hilarious to say the least.
I agree with you. The goals really aren't the focus of this conversation or these two games, but rather how badly we dominated Spurs. Conte said it best. They're just head and shoulders above us, and I think this is exactly what Chelsea needed ahead of a huge game this weekend against the defending champions of the Premier League. I have to say it, but I think we're looking good. Players like Lukaku and Kovacic are shining once again, and it's important. We need these victories under our belt.
Cool. Well, I mean, we talked about some recent games and fixtures that have gone on. It's really nice to see so many games during the week. You know, it gives me a little break from all the work I'm supposed to be doing, actually. But to talk about the transfers going in, honestly, one of my favorite things to talk about in the sport. We have some really interesting stuff, especially in the Premier League going on. Let's first talk with Newcastle. I think there's a lot to talk about with them. Signed Kieran Trippier. They signed Wood, you know, the New Zealand giant from Burnley. And what do you guys think of that transfer? 25 million. I think the fee is still, you know, being debated, but 25 million for me personally, I think that's just worth it, taking their best player from their direct relegation battle rivals. But I mean, what do you guys think about that?
You know, I have mixed feelings about Newcastle's window in general. I think that the players that they've bring on at this point, you know, they're kind of doomed. They look like they're about to get relegated. So whoever comes in has to be a huge catalyst. Trippier is going to come back, I think, a much better player than what he left England. I think he's probably learned a lot from Simeone. Defensive-wise, he's going to be a lot cleaner. The tactics in the La Liga are much sharper, so I think he's going to be better in that regard. However, just positionally, the right-back position, I don't think is one of those positions that holds the most influence in the team's play, and it's not going to bring in a lot more goals. So, you know, it's going to be helpful on set pieces, I think, but it's nothing crazy there. And then Wood is on single-digit goals. Like, he used to be very, very prolific. But we'll see if they can get him up and firing again. I expected a bit more from Newcastle if they want to stay.
I think Newcastle are kind of far and done in this transfer window, and it's kind of, you know, we were touching on Saudi before. But it's kind of, we'll see how much they can sprinkle in and, you know, vamp up that team, because they're going to be the richest team in League Two in the Championship if they don't get their, you know, their stuff together really quick. But interesting stuff from there, from the Toon up north. Talking about other transfers, especially, I think the other big hitters in this January transfer window is Villa. You know, Steven Gerrard pulling them strings, signing his ex-lover boy Coutinho from Barcelona. A lot of, you know, he's had his worries and troubles there. He's getting a fresh start. And then now confirmed today, Lucas Digne leaving Everton, leaving Rafa Benitez, saying, I'm sick of that. I'm going to get a fresh start on the left wing and the defense of that. Franz, what do you think of those transfers?
I'm just really surprised they still have, you know, different forms of liquidated cash to spend money on after spending almost a lot of that 100 mil Jack Grealish money in the summer, like
100 mil per calf, 50 mil per calf.
But I like the Dean transfer. I think they needed an upgrade in that position, even though Matt Target's decent. Coutinho, I'm totally against on. That guy's a bum at this point in his career. He's 30 years old. He's on 10 million, and Barcelona's paying the other 10 million. So it's a short-term hit to Villa financially, and they need a big performances from him. So we'll see what happens.
Barca can't get rid of this guy, man. He's turned into a lone dog. Every single window, they're trying to throw him somewhere. It's just so much financial damage just from Coutinho alone. And, you know, the club, if you guys follow Barca on Twitter, they're literally celebrating being able to register players now. When Ferran Torres was signed, they're like registered. And they're doing like a whole thing about how they were able to register this guy. It's ridiculous. They couldn't register Aguero before in the summer, if you guys remember. They had to sell, not even sell, they loaned out Griezmann to Atleti. It's insane what's happening at this club. The amount of incompetence. And I think it really shows our movement to, you know, give some power to the fans, because if I'm a Barca fan, I'm losing my mind.
Barcelona, listen to us. Let us just take over. We'll handle all the decisiones. I speak Spanish. No worries. We got it. All good. More transfers to come during this window. You know, talking to Barcelona, Ferran Torres finally registered as a player. I think he was abysmal in that first half of the Supercopa. I think it's kind of a big game to throw him in, but it kind of shows how desperate they were to finally have him. They're like, we're not going to go through all this trouble trying to register him and then not play him, even when Luke de Jong had a better performance than him. But yeah, a lot of transfers.
Hometown pressure. That guy
Hometown pressure.
Back to Barcelona, so I don't think he's going to do well the first 6 months. Diego Carlos, I heard about him to Newcastle too from Sevilla.
Oh, that'd be fire. He's left a big hole in my heart after what he did to us in that Europa League final,
bro. Tell me about it.
Come on. Joel, though, I can't let you get out of this segment, all right? Because I see you're kind of fading away. I can't let you get out of this segment without touching on Inter versus Juventus Supercopa, bro. What are you doing to us? You're sitting here, I'm anticipating it. Come on, bro.
I had to assess the most important games to watch yesterday, and for me, West Ham Norwich fell above that one just because I had 3 fantasy Premier League players in that team.
Bro,
But,
get out of here, bro. You're
Jared
wild.
Bowen scoring 2 goals. But I'll let you guys touch on it. I'll let you guys have your moment. Alexis Sanchez, 120th minute winner. How do you guys feel?
Bro, I would kiss Ben right now. You know, I was about to kill Ben 5 seconds ago because of Xhaka, but for the beautiful man that is Alexis Sanchez, Barcelona, Arsenal history right there. He brought him over to Inter. That's a proven champion, and he proved it yesterday. Put the ball at his feet and let the man work, baby. Darmian, huge shout out. So these 2 Manchester United men linking up to win Inter a trophy is too good. It's poetic, man. Man U fans, talk to me. How do you feel, baby? How do you feel right now watching that?
All I gotta say is another Bastoni masterclass, the next great center back in the world of football.
Woo!
And we should have put this game to bed much earlier. But hey, it's a cup tie final, 1-legged tie. We got it done. Andiamo.
Let's go.
Touch on shout out to Weston McKennie for scoring that goal. We got to shout out all the Americans that are doing well abroad.
Listen, we got to shout out the American man, baby. I'm an Inter fan, but I was like, all right, if it had to be a goal, I'm glad it was from Weston. But listen, you know who I'm really going to shout out, though? This is the biggest shout out of all time. Inzaghi, you are most likely going to be the next generational Italian manager if things go on like this. You've barely been at the club, already equaled Conte's trophy count for the club. Let's talk about it. Yeah, that's right. Beautiful football from you. Beautiful football. You came into a situation that's much harder that Conte ran away from, losing 2 star players. So you know, I got to talk my truth right here. Inzaghi.
All right. We can have a whole discussion, especially between you two. Just lock in a room. You can talk about Inter for like hours and hours. Look out for that podcast. It's going to be a little supplemental one. Anyway, that was the footy talk, transfer talk about this segment of the podcast. Look forward to this. We can literally go on for hours and hours. Literally no research done. We're just lovers of the game, just watching every day. And so yeah, just trying to tie it all back now. Remind you guys of the message with Civitas. You got to support. And so yeah.
Let's talk about it, baby. All right. Every single episode, we're going to wrap it up by telling you what to expect next from Civitas, what to look for. One massive announcement is we're going to have our first set of tasks up soon on the Discord. So if you don't know, please follow Civitas FC on twitter.com, right? Just follow us. You check out the link tree there, join the Discord, and you'll have all the information you need on the club. You'll have all the tasks you can do to start getting yourself some tokens, really integrate into the community and build up from the ground up. And again, we're doing this whole thing publicly, the highs, the lows. We need everybody's support right now. It's really going to be a beautiful thing. Ben, talk to the people, bro. What do they have to look forward to?
Yeah, no, I mean, you mentioned it right now. As soon as this episode goes up, we're going to have those tasks ready for everybody to get involved. Again, contributions can come from anybody, any idea. We'll look into it. We're really trying to build a community of football lovers as the foundation, right? So that's the most important thing, is we are building a community. The rest will come slowly. We're building in public. We're getting a lot of people involved. Like RB mentioned earlier, we're going to have a bunch of people within the Web3 space, within the crypto space, come in, share their thoughts. We're going to have people within the football space as well, talking about how we can actually go about purchasing a team. And so, again, we're out here trying to make history, and I know it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
Let's go. Bookmark this, baby. Bookmark this episode. This is the beginning of a beautiful journey. Let us know where you were when this happened. Where were you when you were first watching this episode?
Hold on, before we wrap it up, Frost touched on it. Frost, how much you throwing down on this City-Chelsea game this weekend?
5 tokens.
5 tokens? Oh, we're betting tokens?
Bro, tokens aren't even out yet. What are these guys?
You don't even have any tokens.
I'm hedging, my guy.
You're hedging 5 future tokens? All right, everyone bookmark this. When City win this weekend, Frost's going to give me 5 tokens in the future. Those tokens are going to be worth millions of dollars.
Final Champions League.
All right, you can cut it. You can cut it now. I'm done looking at this.
Hey, and for all the listeners, if you need a basic rundown of this whole project, go to our website, civitasfc.com. There are links there to the Discord. Join, read up, and follow all the chat and banter that follows in the Discord as well.
All right, folks.
Last
words. Forever hold your peace, if none. All right.
I'm excited. Let's do this thing.
Let's fucking do this thing. That's the main thing. Let's do this thing. Let's enable a beautiful community.
I'm gonna have to bleep that out too, but it's fine.
No, it's all right. We'll keep it all. This is uncut. This is raw footage right here. You know, this is it. This is the future of ball, baby. All right. We're signing off. That's episode 1. That's episode 1, y'all.
This is Civitas. Where will you be for the revolution?